Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akiam. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me! Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And now we are in those times, okay? We are in the times in which this precept was written, because right now we are seeing the beginning of evils, okay? Or rather, we are in the beginning of evils, okay? The beginning of famine and great death, with the food shortages that are going out throughout the whole earth. And right now, Esau Edom is doubling down on causing these food shortages by stopping farmers from growing crops in under the disguise of global warming, right? You know, the war between Russia and Ukraine has made it so that you don't have the resources in the form of gas, fuel, and energy in order to grow the food product. Okay, so we are right now in those times, and what will happen or what is coming next is unrest. Okay, sedition, unrest and uproars of the people. Okay, it is the end, and the reason I am reading this is because Jacob's trouble is coming. Okay, all these things that you are seeing happening on the earth, famine, war, death, and the complete downfall and the destruction of Esau Edom's kingdom, Esau Edom's infrastructure, are about to turn up heavy in these coming times. Okay, because Esau Edom has already projected that things are going to turn up in the second half of 2022. You're going to be seeing more, and you know what? Let me see whether I can find that picture. Anywho, I'm probably just going to have to just use that as the thumbnail, and you're going to see more and more turn up. Okay, that's probably the best tip I should use. Okay, so we're back. And back to what I was saying, okay? This is what I was talking about, I can clearly see right here. This is a chart going into the research of the possibility of uproars, what protests in the coming days, okay, in the second half of 2022. And this is the combustible south, okay? Forecast number of serious outbreaks of unrest in the next 12 months, June 2022, okay? The percentage change on previous 12 months. I can clearly see they have data going into this, okay? Going by percentages. So that means and this is the chart showing you the different levels of the or the range of the protests, okay? And as you can clearly see, majority of the first world countries, Babylon the Great, Europe, Australia, so on and so forth, are completely grayed out. And the reason why they are grayed out is because there's quote unquote insufficient data, which is basically just Esau's roundabout way of telling you that they cannot measure the amount of violence, the amount of serious outbreaks of unrest. Or in other words, which is a fancy way of saying protest, sedition, sedition, outrage, okay, violence, protests, civil unrest that will lead to violence, lead to death, and even more destruction that will break out in these coming days. And this is the time that we are in right now, okay? So now, precept time, okay? Let me get some precepts, okay? Zephaniah 1 verse 14. So this is the book of Zephaniah 1 verse 14, and it reads, "The great day of Yahweh is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against high towers." Okay, But wait, there's more. I still have more precepts to bring out, Amos 5, verse 18. And you can already know what it is. Amos 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on a wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? And these are the times that we are coming into, okay? And that day of Yahweh is the times we are about to approach, okay? Jacob's trouble, in which there will be trouble, all kinds of trouble, tribulation upon the earth, okay? The devil coming down onto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Revelation 12, verse 12, right? Now, I'm not, trying to fearmonger or anything like that, okay? But these are the times, once again, these are the times we are coming into, okay? Esau, Edom is about to let all hell break loose on the earth, with his Hegelian dialectic, right? Order out of chaos. So what he is going to do is he's going to bring an intense amount of chaos in order to bring in his new world order, okay? And that is the purpose of all of these controlled collapses, because that's what we are going through right now. It's a controlled collapse, the financial collapse with inflation moving into hyperinflation. The different sectors of this kingdom, this beast system is crumbling. Okay, but ironically, the military sector is still as strong as ever. But it just shows you that you are truly being ruled by Esau Edom, because his blessing is the sword, right? Everything else he touches will be destroyed, except for anything that deals with the sword, anything that deals with the force of the sword, with shedding blood, right? But anyway, like I was saying, the scriptures call these times that are coming into Jacob's trouble. And let's get that precept, okay? And the reason why it's going into this is because this is the book of Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay? And that is what all of this is going to cultivate into. Let's just use that word, okay? It's going to eventually end up with Jacob's trouble. Whether there is an eventual collapse of the power grid, okay, on in all the earth, or the internet goes down, okay, or there's actually either a scarcity or a lack of gas, a lack of fuel, a lack of power, and the whole earth is completely, falls into darkness, because that can actually happen, where the entire energy grid of the whole planet just, and of course, not going to be on a scale like that, but it's just weighing all the options, But this is just me speaking as a man. Of course, it's not going to be at this on the scale of the whole world completely going dark, but the internet will. But Esau Edom will close out the internet or shut down the internet. Okay, and these are the things that could happen in these times. But there will be a shortage of everything, a shortage to the point of lack of everything, okay? And then eventually, this is just showing you as, you're just telling you what is going to come just by observing what is already happening. Hyperinflation, okay? Food shortages, because right now we are in those times. We are in the times of famine being prepared to come upon the earth. That's why I can't go a video without talking about food shortages right now, because the famine is coming, okay? Evils are being brought upon the earth, and who may turn them back? That is the point, right? But now, as you should already know, the Akiam and the Akwata in this truth already know this, but have no fear, for we shall be delivered out of it, right? Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, so we will be delivered out of it, because the Most High will deliver us out of the tribulation that he, because at the end of the day, All of this is being brought by Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh through his left hand side. So the Most High will deliver us out of the trouble, out of the hell as he is about to bring upon the earth. Job 5 verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the dog, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Slovakia. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. And that is basically going into all the plagues that the Most High is bringing upon the earth. And Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh will defend us from all of them, okay? In the 6 troubles, a complete number of troubles. In other words, all the troubles, all the affliction, all during the hour of temptation, all the temptations that may come. The Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh will defend us, protect us, guide us, and deliver us from all of them, okay? And these are all the judgments which the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh will bring. And that is actually reminding me of Psalm, the 91st chapter, right? At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. So let me get that real quick. Psalm 91. So, okay, hold on. Psalm 91. Okay. Yeah, I want to start from the top. Psalm 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And that's basically what I wanted to read. The title of this video being what? The beginning of evils, but we have a deliverer. So we have no fear of the evils to come because we know that so long that we will be delivered, okay? As it says in the book of Psalm 91 verse 1, because we are dwelling in the secret place of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh, which is this truth, okay? And of course, we have more precepts to go into. So let me jump to the next precept. Okay, Joel 2 verse 31. Joel 2 verse 31. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yahweh come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahweh hath said, in the remnant whom Yahweh shall call. Okay. And in these times of trouble, it's not just going to be the manufactured trouble, okay, or the manufactured hell that Esau is bringing. The Most High will also be bringing his own judgments upon the earth, okay. So when you think that, it's just going to be Esau, and his famine, and Esau, and his female troops, and the female camps, and the civil unrest, and the UN troops, and the NATO troops, that is the least, that is just part of it, okay. There's still going to be the judgments that the Most High will bring forth, okay? Darkness, where it will be that the sun will be blocked out and the moon also will be blocked out as well. The sun and the moon will not give her light, right? Because even the scriptures tell you that in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, and before the coming of and that's also going into the parable of Esau. That's also a parable going into Esau, Edom losing his power, right? Let's get that. Here it is. Matthew 24 verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Which this, of course, is going into Esau, Edom losing his power, losing his ruler, his reason. Slakia. Let me relax a little bit because I'm a little excited. Losing his rulership and his wisdom and his control over the earth and being cast down. As our Lord Yahushua said, I beheld Satan fall as lightning from heaven, right? But of course, that doesn't mean that there won't be darkness in these last days, because you know what the scriptures also say in Deuteronomy 30 verse 7, I believe that let's go to that. That the Most High will bring the plagues of Egypt upon those that. Let's just bring this out. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them which hate thee and persecute thee. So all the curses, including the curses of Egypt, will be returned to our enemies, those that hate us. And which of course is speaking about the Israel of God. In other words, the Hebrew Israelites, okay, the ones that know the truth and serve Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh. And that includes the plague of darkness. So you could still see darkness, you could still see the sun being blotted, being blocked out, and a plague of darkness going forth in Babylon the Great and in all other parts of the world, during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay. And of course, once again, let's go to the book of Isaiah. No need to fear because we have a power, we have a defender, a deliverer in our Lord Yahushua. So this is the book of Isaiah 9 and verse 6, and it reads, For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts will perform this. And that's basically going into, once again, the rulership of our Lord Yahushua in the kingdom, because he is the deliverer. That is what the word Yahushua means, right? He is the deliverer. And we do have a deliverer. As the scriptures say, for I know my Redeemer, okay? And our Redeemer is Yahushua. He is alive. He lives. And he will come and defend us. He will come and protect us. He will come and deliver us in these times. So this is the book of Job 19 verse 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And that's right. So let's close out with this precept, Or let me just say that, let's just read that, let's close out with this precept, because it's basically going into the same thing. Precept upon precept. Daniel 12 verse 1. And at that time, at what time? At the beginning of evils, okay? Jacob's trouble, Daniel 12 verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Okay? So there is a deliverance coming for our people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's why the scriptures say that we shall not be, that we shall not fear none of the things which shall come upon us in these latter days, okay? So with that, once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom.